Hello and welcome back to ClanGen. You can call me Frosty. We are starting off a new series using a challenge that I found on the ClanGen's Discord. It was created by Golden. I'm sure you'll have a little hint by the title and thumbnail about what challenge this may be. It's going to be a little bit different. We are going to be exploring a little bit more into backstory, roleplay sort of a thing. So if you're here for a bit more of a casual run, I fear to say that this is probably not it. But anyway, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to make sure our settings are the correct settings for this challenge here. So Golden outlines that really the only settings are same-sex parents off, single parents on, and mass extinction events are off. The rest seems like it's up to us, so I'll go ahead and I'm just gonna mess around with this. I was messing around with this a bit earlier just to make sure I had the correct stuff. Let's see. So we're disallowing mass extinction events. We'll allow cats to choose whether or not they want to retire due to permanent conditions. Automatically save, yes please. Show current moons and seasons, we'll keep that on unless it becomes really irritating. I do like the custom cursor, so I'll be keeping that. Enable shaders, we will allow the leaders to automatically choose a new deputy. I don't think that's an error succession is going to make a huge difference. We will allow apprentices to graduate based on experience. We will allow dead cats to fade away, but save a complete copy. We'll allow warriors and elders to choose to become mediators. I am going to allow mild gore and blood, as there is going to be some depictions in some of these events here that are probably going to be similar to some of the books. So please just bear that in mind if you're sensitive to any of that kind of material. I will choose to show exact experience for right now. If that becomes an irritation, please just let me know. For relationship settings, we will randomize values. Allow affairs. I am going to go ahead and unclick this for now based off of the guidelines of the setting and the challenge. If you want me to allow this at any point, please just leave a comment down below and I will do so. I'm only going to be going ahead an episode or two at most, if I can, so it may not happen the next episode, but hopefully it'll happen the episode after. Allow unmated cats to have offspring, yes we do need to have that, and I'll keep both of these two off. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create a new clan. I will be doing this on expanded mode. I was going back and forth on what to name the clan, but I think ultimately FrogClan is going to be a very fitting name for this clan. We'll go ahead and go to the next step. Per the challenge, we are going to be prioritizing adults for our starting clan here. So I'm going to try and basically just choose the adult cats here, followed by apprentices, followed by kids, followed by elders, I think. But I'll come back when I have found a good clan to bring along. I won't be taking this clan just because it's not a great distribution of personalities and such, but I did just want to highlight this cat, Thundershock. That's a great name. It's a beautiful cat. Why couldn't you have been brought along? Okay, I think I'll take this clan along. It's gonna be a bit of an interesting one, but I think it's gonna work for our purposes. Of the cats here, I think I'm going to go ahead and make Jump Rip here into Jump Star, an adult, thoughtful female leader. So we'll go ahead and grant her 9 lives. As for her deputy, I think it's going to be Lightshade here, who is an adult, loyal female. For the medicine cat, I am going to choose Lotus Shade, an adult, compassionate female. For the other cats, we're just going to be recruiting directly the adults first. So Light Seeker here, a female, confident adult, is going to be next, and I believe that's it for females, but I could be wrong. Thrush Stripe, a senior, righteous adult, male, is going to be next. Driftburn, who is an adult strict male, will follow. Soft Apple, who's an adult strict male, will also be coming. Of these, I'm also going to choose Wisteria Paw, who is a wise adolescent male. Brookpaw, who is an adolescent compassionate male. And I believe that is it. So we'll go ahead and we will make FrogClan now. FrogClan is going to live here in the wrecks of an old shipyard. Given the setting of this campaign, I think wreckage is going to be a very fitting background. Some of the events that may have led to these ships being in this predicament may very well come to affect these cats. We can just go through their seasons right now. As much as I want to switch off of New Leaf because everything starts New Leaf, I think I'm going to keep New Leaf as a start because that's going to allow us a pretty good ability to gather herbs, to get other supplies that we may need as we go through New Leaf into Green Leaf into Leaf Fall, and then finally we're facing the harshness of Leaf Bear alone. So let's go ahead and we'll pick here New Leaf. Done. Clan has been created and saved. And here we are. But before we begin, there's some stuff that I need to do now. So I'm gonna come back and I will touch base once that has been done. Really quickly though, before I do anything else though, I am going to change Lightshade here to have a different prefix as Lightseeker. I think Lightseeker has a more appropriate name, so I'm just gonna change their name. And just in the interest of fairness, just so that way I'm not automatically picking, I am going to go ahead and randomize this a little bit. I don't like any of these. Okay, Drizzle looks good. I didn't want to like automatically pick it because otherwise it's just going to be like gray or night or a prefix that I like a lot first and foremost. But some of those were a little weird. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the thing that I said I was gonna do. Okay, I believe that I am done rolling for right now. So first and foremost, let's just go ahead and meet our cats. So Jumpstar here is adult female with hazel colored eyes. She is 78 moons old, still has all 9 lives. She is thoughtful and an excellent speaker. And she also has a unique condition. She has particularly large ears. Okay, moving on to Drizzle Shade. She is a female adult mackerel tabby cat, 93 moons old. She is loyal and a fantastic teacher. And she has particularly huge paws. Lotus Shade, our medicine cat, is drying some herbs. Please don't mind Sinbad in the background, he's playing. Lotus Shade is drying some herbs. She is a speckled female with hazel eyes. She is compassionate with a strong connection to StarClan. And she has a prehensile tail. Thrushstripe is a senior adult male. He's actually getting pretty close to elder age. He is righteous and a good hunter. And he has an aquatic tail. Driftburn is an adult male of 91 moons old. He is strict and a good speaker. And he has eyes that can easily adapt to his surroundings. Lightseeker is an adult female, partial Bengal coat, 72 moons old. She is confident with a strong connection to StarClan. And she has a small body. I'm sure at this point you see where this is going. Soft Apple is an adult male cat with pale blue eyes and a speckled coat. He is strict and a good hunter. And he has a particularly muscular body, which makes him bulky. Brookpaw, who is acting angsty, is an adolescent male. He has 39 experience. I'm not really sure what he needs to get his warrior name, but he's 10 moons old and he is compassionate. He has poisonous blood. Wisteria Paw was sought out by another apprentice for their wisdom. He is a wise adolescent male of 8 moons old, and he has adaptable vision as well. So, okay, so you're like, Frosty, what is happening here? Basically, StarClan has chosen these cats to have unique traits that will allow them to overcome challenges that they are to face in their lifetime. In particular, we have 5 major challenges that these cats are going to have to adapt to survive to, or else they will die. All of our starting cats will have at least one trait, as I'm sure you saw before. They have either a mutatable head feature, ears, eyes, teeth, body, tail, or paws. Some of these traits can be negative. It just wasn't for the starting clan to have. So basically, we'll be rolling to decide cats' mutations, and cats that are born into this clan will have a higher chance of having mutation, particularly a mutation of their parents. Mutations can form naturally over time due to particular experiences. Those are spontaneous mutations, and we'd roll for them. Particularly if a cat was to get a scar, would they have a spontaneous mutation? Kids could also form a spontaneous mutation, but if both parents have the same mutation slot, then they would be guaranteed to have one of the parents' mutations in that same slot. So for example here, Driftburn has adaptable vision. It just so happens that Wisteria Paw also was rolled adaptable vision, but say they got a different eye trait. If Wisteria Paw and Driftburn were then to have a kit together, then the kit would have the 50-50 chance of either getting adaptable vision or the other trait, but they would always have something on their eyes. In a case like this, where it's the same trait, the kit would just inherit it out of turn. So basically, good traits that have been proven effective in the past, or just through sheer luck alone, like what is natural in a lot of mutations and genetics, will get passed down through the generations. There are multiple different events that can possibly happen. I'm not going to tell you what those are. If you want to see, you can go ahead and look in the Discord. I have made a few minor changes just to not be as, fantastical about it, and to just add a bit of my own flair to it. So adaptable vision just basically means that the cat can see pretty well in light and dark. Just to go over the ones we currently have. Poisonous blood is different from venom. So poison is if a cat were to bite Brookpaw, or another animal were to bite Brookpaw, they would be poisoned. And it could either taste bad, it could be even outright harmful, but that can help Brookpaw survive possible attacks. Muscular is a trait off of bulky, just the cat is bigger, it's more muscular, and it's stronger. So Soft Apple is a bit stronger than some of the other ones. Lightseeker is small, she's a bit more compact as a cat. Driftburn has the same adaptable vision. For Thirst Stripe, the aquatic tail could come into a variety of different ways. So aquatic tail could just be anywhere from kind of amphibious of a tail, so a tail without fur, but it's got that kind of frog skin to it. Now, I can go into why I named this FrogClan. Frogs, as tadpoles, go through very major changes throughout their lifetime, and they have to be very adaptable, so for the metamorphosis alone, I went ahead with FrogClan. It has no bearing on the aquatic tail necessarily. I'm going to kind of change my definition of some of these depending on the unique individual. So aquatic tail could be just pure amphibious skin, or it could be a tail that has more of a fin, or it could be a tail that is stronger to propel through water, more like an otter, or it could be something else, and you can help me decide that down in comments below. Lotus Shade has a prehensile tail, which basically, if you think of a monkey, that just means that the tail can move freely and it can be used to grab onto things. That can help a lot with mobility, especially throughout various trees and balance and things like that. Huge paws are just what they sound like. They're just big paws, and same with large ears. So our leader and deputy didn't get the most exciting traits, but that's what I rolled for them, and that's what we're going to go with. So like I said, there are going to be some bad mutations that we can possibly roll, and they will basically always function negatively for the slot that they encompass. Just to give you a quick idea of what those are real quick, I'll go ahead and let you know now. So for the head slot, it's an uneven head, ears are deaf, eyes are blind, teeth are toothless, body is wasting, tail is tailless, and paws are nubs. So if you ever see a cat with that cat is automatically going to have a negative quality to trying to survive any events. Some of these traits are going to be good for some of the events that are to come, and in other events, those same traits will be a hindrance. So it really behooves us to try and get as many traits as we can and as many cats as we can. Now, when it comes to cats joining the clan, our cats were chosen by StarClan to have the best chance possible to survive these events. Not all rogues or other clan cats are going to have those traits. Such cats are deemed by Golden as normies. I may change that name, but those cats would have no mutations at all. Our winning conditions are to survive all of the events with at least a certain number of mutated cats surviving, and we will fail if normies take over the clan or if we all just outright die, or if ever there was a time when the leader deputy medicine cat did not have a mutation. So we need to perpetuate the mutations. I think that's about all we really need to go into for right now. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make sure that we have saved this clan. So, just to go into the backstory now. Jumpstar, formerly Jump Rift, was exiled from her clan, not necessarily even because of her large ears, but because she felt StarClan calling to her and telling her that she had a different destiny. The large ears weren't so prominent that they were a hindrance to her in any way, and her clan was readily accepting of a cat as thoughtful and as well-spoken as she was. She was always destined for greatness, and they knew that going in. But StarClan brought to her deputy, Drizzleshade, who, with her huge paws, also hadn't really been negatively affected in her previous clan. But Drizzleshade stated that there is something that StarClan was preparing them for. It was something awful, something that none of the clans had ever seen before, and it could shake the warrior code to its roots or even eradicate it if these cats didn't succeed. Drizzleshade also said they were going to need Jumpstar's exceptional thoughtfulness and charisma to get the cats that were more negatively affected by the mutations through this. So Jumpstar agreed to leave her clan with Drizzleshade and to find the other cats that were going to be chosen by StarClan. Some of them, like Lotus Shade, were a bit easier to find as her prehensile tail stuck out. A lot of cats denied Lotus Shade any kind of affection because of her strange tail, despite its uses. They just couldn't really get past how strange and almost alien her tail was. So effectively, Lotus Shade was outcast from her clan for her strange tail. While it had its uses, it was just too weird for the clan to really get past. And while the clan could appreciate somebody who is knowledgeable in herbs and healing, being able to press their paws on one part of a cat's body while tending to another with her tail, it just weirded them out too much. And Lotus Shade, being the kind of cat that she is, and having gotten dreams from StarClan that some greater destiny was calling her, did not take it very personally and chose to leave willingly for the sake of her clan, because she felt that there was another clan out there that could use her services more. Thrushstripe, who has the aquatic tail, I'm going to say outright has probably one of the least startling versions. in that it's more so got a little bit of a dorsal fin towards it. It's not the most effective aquatic tail, but it would serve the purpose if ever the need arose. He was definitely cast aside for this trait. He was living as a rogue or loner from a pretty early age, and in his upper years here has been found by this clan, FrogClan, and accepted for his strange traits instead of being denied for them. So Thrushstripe decided to take them up on it because he could see that they too were strange. Otherwise, I don't think he would have necessarily trusted it. Once his loyalty was earned, however, he became one of the most loyal, righteous cats to the clan way, because what he thought was a strange trait that StarClan was rejecting him from normal society for, turns out that's going to give him and his legacy an edge, possibly going into these upcoming extinction events. So all that anger and hatred that he had felt towards clan life in StarClan during his years as a rogue basically just suddenly evaporated as soon as he saw that there was a greater destiny for him. And now he is a very experienced, very loyal warrior. Driftburn used their adaptable vision pretty much constantly in clan life. He didn't realize for a very long time that this wasn't how other cats saw. He did come to be aware that he had a bit stronger vision than others because cats were constantly asking him to lead them into anywhere where there's sudden light changes, so he'd always be the one sent into burrows to explore what's in there. He'd be the one sent into caves to raid other clans. And while he didn't necessarily dislike the positioning that this gave him, he didn't necessarily approve of the treatment either. And so, when the other cats approached him to ask if he would like to join their growing clan, he agreed. He wanted a chance where his gifts didn't feel that extraordinary. He didn't have all the pressure riding strictly on his shoulders. His clan was distraught to lose him, but ultimately they knew they couldn't stop him. Lightseeker is a bit more subtle in the ways of her gift than the others, but she has a strong connection to StarClan and was told that her small stature was something that wasn't just chance. Both her parents were larger warriors, and she turned out really small in stature, which was not something that they would expect, especially compared to her siblings who were all normal to large-sized cats as well. She started to get strange dreams from StarClan promising that there's going to be more for her out there. So Lightseeker, who is a confident cat, set out to find FrogClan. She traveled a very long way to get here, but her confidence was never shaken because StarClan continued to give her signs that she was on the right path, and that she had something that only she could contribute to this clan. Softapple has a muscular body. Softapple, like Driftburn, was often exploited in his clan for his gift. He has a muscular body, and that leads him to have great bulk and intimidating stature. His strict personality goes hand in paw with that, and he tended to really intimidate both foes at gatherings as well as his own clanmates. He was a very respected warrior and a great hunter for his abilities, but his extreme muscular stature was undeniable. So when the other clan cats that had these strange guests approached him, he could suddenly see that he belonged a lot more with them, despite their not really overlapping traits, than he did alongside his normal clanmates. He figured that if there's going to be something coming that StarClan has chosen them for, they're going to be in need of his great bulk and his warrior assets and training to keep them safe from whatever danger is coming. Brookpaw was found along the way. They found Brookpaw as basically a rogue or loner as they were journeying to the place that was prophesied for them to weather these storms, being this beach here. When they were heading out, however, they found Brookpaw, a very young and small cat, but of apprentice age, being attacked by another predator. Brookpaw did get a little bit of their tail stuck in the dog's mouth, and the dog, when it bit down, instead of furthering its attack on Brookpaw to rip him to shreds, turned tail and ran. Brookpaw did not have to land a single hit on this dog in order to do so. He was brought into this clan to help heal his tail, and during this time they discovered that this isn't the first time Brookpaw has been attacked by much larger animals and was able to survive because something in his blood, they do not know what, just seems to drive predators away. So Brookpaw, they knew, belonged with them. And Brookpaw, being the kind of cat that he is, doesn't really like being attacked either, so he happily accepted their offer. Wisteria-Paw, who is a wise cat beyond his age, he is only 8 moons old, but he already understands that his adaptable vision is something that most cats do not have, and that it gives him an edge. Wisteria-Paw used his keen senses to see these cats journeying across the two-legged nests where Wisteria-Paw was born, and he immediately went out to join them. He could see from a glance that these cats were all of various different qualities, shapes, and sizes, and he knew that he belonged with them. He barely even had to describe his vision when Driftburn recognized his own capabilities in this young cat and took him under his wing. So Driftburn is Wisteria-Paw's mentor. And no, I did not select that. The game did that, so it's just perfect. Another trait I'm noticing is that both cats with adaptable vision have emerald eyes. So it's possibly tied to that strange coloration of eye as well. But we're going to go ahead and go into StarClan. So our guide is Whale Run, it looks like, a senior adult who looked to be 297 moons old. It was a mediator. So Whale Run has been the cat that has been basically bringing this ragtag clan together and has brought them to this strange environment. The cats do not understand what happened to the two-legged ship here, but they gladly find comfort in the remains of the ship that are still sound. It's great shelter for them. And they know that something about this ship could also give them an edge during some of the trials that are to come, because why else would StarClan guide them here in particular? Maybe this ship even was a result of different trials that other cats before them had to face that brought this ship here. Maybe this is just the place that cats who need to perpetuate the warrior code must survive. I know that this was a lot more of a story-based beginning, but I hope that you still found this entertaining and are excited to see where this goes, because I certainly am. We are going to be jumping into next episode with our first few patrols here and seeing what happens. I'm also going to be exploring cats' relationships with one another and seeing if there's anybody that could make a good pairing, because we don't have the most time ever before our first event is scheduled to happen, and I'm not going to tell you when, but I want us to have as many cats with as many different traits as we can before that is to happen. Really quickly, before I do end off today's episode though, I do just want to say that when it comes to patrols, we're not going to be forced to proceed every single time. We can choose to back off if we think it's going to be a negative effect. Of course, that has various different qualities to it, but we do not have to proceed. We can just choose to walk away, but each cat only gets 1 pass per year per trait that they have. So cats that have multiple mutations can get multiple passes, and it's based entirely upon the leader of the patrol. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'll be keeping track of that off screen so people don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to be showcasing every single patrol and everything that happens. I will be showcasing relationships and things that change as it becomes really relevant. But for the most part, we're not going to be going into every cat's particular daily standings, daily relationships, things like that. We're just going to be exploring the big things that happen and contribute to the story in some way. So, all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. I'm really excited to be starting off this new challenge. I'm also a little bit nervous because I have a feeling that we could just fail immediately out of the gate. So we're hoping that that doesn't happen. Thank you so much for watching this far. I will see you in the next episode, but until then, stay safe and bye!